Hello.
Hey, hey, give me just 1 second here. Sorry about that. New computer trying to get everything set up.
No, all good.
Nice to
How's
meet you.
uh how's your Tuesday so far?
It's good. It's kind of just getting started.
Nice. Where are you
Yeah.
based?
What's that?
I said, where are you located?
Oh, Tennessee. What about you?
Oh, nice. I'm in Tampa.
Oh, cool.
So
Sweet.
you're 1 hour behind, I think. Are you CST?
No, so there's two time zones in Tennessee, so one Central and then Eastern, but we're in
Okay,
East.
I
Yeah, we're
gotcha.
actually planning on moving to the West Palm Beach area here within the next couple of months. So,
Oh, nice. Very cool. What's going to bring you to West Palm? Anything or just
uh, actually, there's a church plant that our company, well, the leader of our company is doing, and we'll be helping with that.
very cool. Awesome. Good stuff. Well, yeah, happy to kind of go ahead and dive right in. I have the application up. I have the ad library up. Was able to poke around. I recognize that you guys are potentially looking for female spokesperson to be
Mhm.
in some of the ads. I think you had mentioned a colleague or someone connected us potentially, or someone recommended that we have a chat. But yeah, I mean, with all that being said, feel free to kind of go ahead and dive right in, give me a rundown of what you guys got going on. And yeah, where you're looking to primarily get the most help with females being in the ads.
Yeah, for sure. So just to give you, when you say full rundown, like what all would you be looking for?
We can talk a little bit high level right now, just from a kind of Facebook perspective in terms of creative testing, strategy, numbers that you guys are seeing. It looks like a lot of the traffic is maybe driven to a handful of lead magnets. But yeah, just if you can, just give me high level rundown of where you guys are producing majority of leads and yeah, what all that looks like.
Yeah, so from the high level, Meta is definitely our biggest platform. And the biggest place that we need help right now is phone sales. So we have two different avenues that we bring in sales. One of them is over the phones, or actually three, because we're transitioning. We're going to be introducing live events as well. So we'll be
Nice.
doing monthly live events, and then we do virtual events like roughly twice a quarter.
Okay.
So, but the biggest place that we need help is phone sales. The virtual events always do pretty well, and they've been helping. But our VSL and our main funnel that we created has been the same for the past like 2.5 years, and it's experiencing a little bit of burnout.
Okay.
And we've just noticed that even with our CEO, him recording new ads and doing different things, like we just figured it probably best if there was a new face,
Mhm.
especially a female face. So as you read in the notes, like we've been looking through our community to try to find a successful student that would be good on camera, and that to us would be amazing because they could be a genuine spokesperson. But then I don't know if you're familiar with a gentleman by the name of Paul Ace.
Oh yeah. I know the name. I'm trying to remember what company he's associated with.
It's Amplify CCOM. So he's worked with a lot of different offers
Okay.
and basically oversees their marketing, but he's the one who recommended you to us.
Cool.
Does that all
And
make sense? Or what other kind of questions do you got?
yeah, yeah, all that makes good sense. From the virtual events currently, are you guys selling the same thing that you're selling through phone sales, or is the phone sale selling a different product?
So we have the same inventory of products regardless of how we're selling, but we have noticed that depending on the virtual event, because some virtual events we do low ticket, some of them we do specifically our premium high ticket.
Mhm.
But so we have four basic packages right now. And one we call base, then there's silver, gold, and platinum. We usually sell the silver, gold, and platinum at our virtual events and at our live events. Oh, lagged a little bit. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. But we usually sell base over the phones.
Great. Okay. And ascension from base into those three other tiers happens at some point. couple weeks after, a couple days after, or what's the vibe there?
No, so base, I mean, they're relatively the same price range. So base is about 10K, and
Okay.
then platinum right now is about 12K, then gold is about 20, and then so platinum, or I'm sorry, silver is about 12K, gold is about 20K, and then platinum is about 30. So usually if there is Ascension, it's at either a live in-person event or it's at a live virtual event.
Nice. Okay, great. And historically, have you always driven traffic from set to a phone sale via a video sales letter funnel, or have there been some other pathways that those individuals go through in order to set for a call?
Yeah, so for sure. So we have our one like sales letter type funnel we call the declaration funnel that ends in the VSL, which is our training. And then we have I'm not sure if I give the breakdown of this yet. I have some notes here just to kind of share with you the high level stuff so you can get an understanding. So that's our book a call funnel. Then we have a low ticket quiz funnel, which is,
Great.
hey, take this quiz, find out which pathway in real estate would be best for you, and then we give them some education in that regard. And then in the educational materials, there's a book a call option.
Cool.
And then there's the deal analyzer, which is a tool that's a little bit more market specific. So usually people that are in market. So our avatars are, Christians that feel like they're meant to build wealth. That's basically the high level. And then obviously the way we teach that is through real estate. But the deal analyzer, it's mainly targeted towards people that are already in or interested in real estate. So it's a little bit
Great.
more niche.
Cool.
And usually we get a little bit more high, you would call like a high level uh, prospect through that.
Okay.
And then we have an SLO funnel, which we're launching today,
What does that stand
and
for?
self-liquidating offer. So basically, the front end offer is already built in with everything that it needs to get them
Yep.
set up. Educational materials. The goal would be to, obviously self-liquidate. So
Yep.
basically net zero and just bring in more leads that way.
Great.
And we did have another funnel that we launched about a month ago, but numbers weren't looking very good. It was a good idea, but we had to shut it down. And that was a quiz as well.
Okay. Great. So with these kind of four main funnels here, why are you guys wanting to introduce females into this content?
Testing.
Testing potential new audience groups, like if there's like one to two main things, like what is the rationale? Like high level, okay, we want to test this. Is it that you guys feel like you're um constantly reaching a very similar avatar by just having his face in the content right now, or like what do you think it is?
That's a great question. So, on a high level, we didn't discuss this in full depth. We were on an L10 and we were just like, hey, why don't we just try a female on our ads on our VSL and see how that works?
Yep.
So the rationale is, hey, let's see if it works. We've
Sure.
heard from a lot of other people in the industry that it does, so we just wanted to test it.
Okay, great. And when you look at the four main funnels, I recognize the VSL's like 2.5 years old. Outside of the VSL funnel, and I'm not trying to stray away from the VSL funnel for starters, but I am just curious, would there be one or two main funnels that you guys would be most interested in placing a female in right out the gate? No strong preference, or yeah, what's your thoughts there?
Outside of the VSL funnel, no.
Okay.
We're primarily looking at the VSL funnel
Okay.
and ads.
Right. Okay, great. And reason I'm asking this question is in most situations, we will normally start at an ad level because we need to crack things to a little bit more top of funnel, kind of like ice cold traffic for starters.
Right.
That allows us to validate a lot more messaging and women on camera because we have 25 different women on the team that are
Mhm.
regularly in content for all of our clients. Personally, I wouldn't want to go through a full video sales letter funnel build for you guys right out the gate without some of that top of funnel data for starters. Make
Yeah.
sense?
Yeah, for sure.
So if that is to be true and we still want to crack the VSL funnel first, what I would recommend is we'll probably have a handful of ads where we actually speak on his behalf in the ad. So we have a quick photo of him pop up. There's a little bit of congruency in, oh, here's spokesperson. I know to expect this person in this video that I'm about to go watch. We might even entertain doing a 10-second handoff in the video sales letter where we film a quick intro. Hey, good to see you on this page. I'm going to go ahead and pass it over and blah, 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 blah. And then it's very, very seamless in that sense. Again, doesn't require us to film a full VSL, a thank you page video, and some other assets that are probably going to be needed to make that really nice and new for a build, but still nice low hanging fruit in us being able to address the ads right out the gate. Make sense?
Got it. Yep.
Cool. So yeah, those are kind of quick thoughts there for the VSL. Honestly, the quiz funnel, I like the idea of that deal analyzer funnel because I love going a little bit more like niche specific, a little more upmarket with the type of individuals that we can potentially bring in. And I don't know if you guys find that people that come from that deal analyzer tend to go into higher level, higher ticket programs for starters.
Yes. Yep.
So that could be fun to test. But yeah, these are just a couple like kind of quick thoughts, open dialogue here. Any other things that would be like helpful for me to know right now? As you guys as you guys audit the current clientele of females that you do have in the community, is there a certain look, vibe, age group, ethnicity, anything like that that you guys are kind of gravitating towards, or is it open?
We're pretty open for testing. Yeah,
Okay.
just whatever works best. The biggest thing is, somebody who is charismatic, somebody who is um obviously it's not going to be disingenuine for them to be on camera. Like they're
Right.
just like naturally, very very they're very much so people
Yep.
and they've obviously gotten results so they can like speak directly into that. So that's the primary basis of what we're looking for.
And when you say they've obviously gotten results, what does that mean? What do you mean by that?
So when you mention people from within our community, that would be
Yeah.
people that we have taught real estate and that have closed deals, have
Oh,
started
sure,
a
sure.
portfolio. Yep.
Okay. But obviously, if you're to hire a spokesperson from someone like my team, we're not going to
Right. Yeah,
obviously have
totally
results.
different.
But that's been I understand what you're saying there.
Yeah.
That's been a qualifier that you guys have been considering. And when you
Right.
audit the current group, let's call that 15 women in the community. Maybe it's 5, maybe it's 30, I don't know. Why haven't you guys tag teamed anyone to film any content yet?
Lack of time, to be honest. And that's why we reach out to you because we have a pretty limited bandwidth with how hard we're pushing in some different areas. So like searching for the right person just isn't, we don't have the time to do it right now.
Cool. Okay. Sweet. Just looking at my notes. Anything else that comes to mind that you think would be valuable for me to know if we were to, dive in and get moving on some ads?
Yes. So just to be totally transparent, like we're very conservative, we're Christians. A couple questions like have you worked with any Christian offers
We
or
have.
okay, sweet.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
like what
sorry,
kind of
what'd you
offers
say?
did you work with?
I didn't hear you.
What kind of offers?
We have worked on one that comes to mind is a gentleman who works with Christian men who are really trying to, I'll be very blunt with you, like save their marriage. And they're working with high caliber men that have like lost themselves and are going through a lot of different things to like really address like root cause and root issues of
Mm,
potentially, losing their wife. And that offer really comes to mind and was a real winner for him simply because him being the coach, it had literally only ever been him and his content. And we kind of flipped the message and had the ads come from the wife's perspective.
that's
And the
good.
moment that we started to deliver these ads to men and say, like, look them, dead in the eyes and hit them with a hard message, those did very, very well. Um, I'm trying to think. That's the only very specific. Oh, another one is it's essentially a biz op in they essentially are teaching people how to flip books, selling those
Okay.
online. I'm not sure if you're familiar with that offer, but those guys spend um, right around 3 to 500 grand a month on both YouTube and Facebook ads.
Mhm.
And couple of our winning ads are literally talking to Christians in the ads, going a little bit more niche in different audience pockets. We found that kind of going after the retired group, looking for a secondary kind of stream of income or whatever the case may be, even like 9 to 5ers, but going that one category lower into
Mhm.
the Christian segment has worked very, very well. And just quite frankly, the founder, that had been something that he had previously tested, and we've just gone kind of a level deeper in getting them some ads too.
Got it. That's cool. So that's really good to know because one of the things that we are always leery of is like, the people that we work with, are they going to be offended by our content? Like we're very outspoken about our beliefs, both,
Right.
you know, our personal beliefs, faith-wise, and then political beliefs being on the conservative side of things.
Yep.
So no, there will be like no worries in regards to
No.
that. Okay.
Yeah, no, I'm a Christian. I'm also conservative. So all in alignment with you guys here. And don't get me wrong, not everyone on our team would be in alignment with something like this, but I would just be very intentional with essentially who would be on the offer and making sure that there would be very strong alignment there.
That's awesome. That's really, really good to know. So you are then like you're a Christian then.
Yes.
Wholehearted.
Yep.
That's awesome. That's super cool. Um, let's see. Does your team are they trained on, the most recent like compliance laws as far as like
Yes, we are. Especially, I mean, most importantly, from a copy standpoint, our two head copywriters are, I mean, we're extremely versed in a lot of different industries. And so, yeah, we have, don't get me wrong. I mean, we get an initial one pager completed on your end before we dive into anything strategy scripting related, where you guys are really giving us the most relevant and most recent kind of full rundown compliance checks that you guys have been experiencing. And
Mhm.
then we'll leverage everything that we kind of have in our toolbox as well to feel very confident in an initial go at some ad scripts that we'd be getting you guys.
Okay. That's awesome. And then have you done anything like I know mainly it's like VSLs, recordings. Do you have anybody on your team that's ever done like a webinar on behalf of a company or anything along those lines? I know that's thinking,
Um, we not a true webinar. Really, the longest form content that we've shot is in the 10 to 15 minute range, and I would really tout those more as being a VSL landing page video.
yeah.
Webinars wouldn't be, technically out of scope by any means, but yeah, we have yet to be on a webinar. We produce a ton of ads for webinar funnels, but time and time again, we just keep the founder out, as the face of that webinar and just really leverage our team for ads to facilitate those webinars.
Yeah, that makes total sense. And then what does your process look like for starting? What would be like, do you guys base things off of a percentage? Is it a flat rate, depending on how many things you have to record? Like, what does that look
Yep.
like?
It's a flat rate depending on how many ads we're recording for starters.
Okay.
The way that high level, I can give you, if you don't mind, I'll give you very quick background and then also high level on process. And then don't get me wrong, we can hit pricing and stuff. Uh,
Sure.
so yeah, quick background on us. I don't know how much information Paul gave you, but we've been in the space for the past 3 years, working on a lot of different B2B, B2C offers. Info is definitely our jam. We work with a lot of different agencies, a lot of different other coaches, consultants, done a
Mhm.
ton in the real estate category, done a lot in financials, done a lot in self-help. I mean, you kind of name it. We've really been nicely versed. With all that being said, we have accrued a lot of data in getting so much exposure to so many different offers and so many different industries with some very, very high spenders, especially on both Facebook and YouTube. Do you guys
Mhm.
run any YouTube ads, or is it really just mostly focused on Facebook?
We used to,
Okay.
and they used to perform really, really well. But we
Yeah. Did
ran
you
some
guys
snags. being a religious organization, well, we got canceled by Google.
Mhm.
And then we had to like get our ad account up and going again. And just since then we've been very leery to go back to YouTube just
Totally.
because it was a fire. Like it was
Yeah.
a mess. Um, but I'm sure you might have some thoughts on that as well, because we would love to.
Yeah, it's tough. It's I've seen a lot of turbulence on some guys that have, you know, been married to YouTube for the past 3 years and then randomly just like fires like truly.
Yeah.
So it I'd say 95% of our clients are very, very focused on Facebook. The handful that are focused on YouTube, we have some like killer case studies with,
Mhm.
but honestly, I think probably our approach should be to just really focus on Facebook for the time being, and then maybe, you know, YouTube will pop up again for you guys, and you know, we
Got
could
it.
revisit that from a content perspective as well. But
Cool.
yeah, with all that being said, definitely have a lot of data both off of YouTube and primarily Meta. When we're working together, really the four main levers that we like to test and pull when we're initially starting with some ads for you guys, first and foremost, is going to be in the scripting. So if you guys are cool with it, we'd love to take a lot of that ownership on all things strategy and scripting. In that initial one pager I was referring to, definitely want to get a previous brain dump of current winning ads, past winning ads, messaging, all that really good stuff that you guys have gotten over the years. At the same time, would love to pull on all of the metrics that we have. I mean, we have some single ads in the real estate industry that have gotten over 25 grand per day in spend behind them. We'd be
Hmm.
fools to not leverage, obviously, a lot of those learnings that we've gotten in being on offers like that.
Yeah.
Second main thing we test with is definitely the demographic. So, like I mentioned, we have 25 women on the team. They all look different, they sound different, they have different personalities and vibes, and so on and so forth. So, you know, when we are testing, definitely want to get you guys probably a handful of different women for starters. And
Mhm.
then I would really see us going, you know, those additional layers deeper and deeper, eventually build out the VSL funnel and stuff, probably with like one key woman. From there, other two minor things that we do a lot of testing with, and I'm sure, you know, the CEO does this, whether it's intentional or not: accessory testing, whether or not you have on a wedding ring, whether or not you have on glasses, a collared shirt, like all these things are going to send little signals to the viewer. Even a woman, like, what is she wearing? You know, does she have on a cardigan? Does she have on a tank top? Like, a lot is said just literally by someone looking at another person doom scrolling on Facebook and Instagram. So very intentional, you know, with how we're dressed, how we look. And then the fourth main thing is environment. So
Okay.
environmental testing in a lot of different areas. You know, that's going to be another thing that we're giving you guys a lot to work with for starters. And then once we realize, hey, like delivering ads in a very casual environment, like a car or outside chatting versus a more formal, like office setting with a podcast mic, like these aren't coming across as authentic. Like we have a
Mhm.
lot of credibility, but maybe it's not as well received. Again, like we won't know till we get some of that data, and
Right.
we'll just kind of go deeper and deeper from there.
Okay.
Once you filled out the intake form from a process standpoint, we typically have everything needed in order to dive into the first round of all things strategy scripting. The number of scripts that are written for you guys are determined by the number of final ads that you're getting from us, normally on a monthly basis. So we offer like a 10 pack of ads, we have a 20 pack, we have a 40 pack. So depending on how many video assets you're looking to get from us, will again determine the amount of scripts that are written. You're going to
Okay.
give those scripts a stamp of approval before we go off into production. Uh, we'll dive into shooting all content. We'll get a really good edit on all the ads. And then what you guys are essentially getting from us will be a Google Drive folder that will have the final assets that, in theory, same day are ready to be launched. And then you guys will get access to all of the raw files in the event that you guys want to test some new edits on those raws. You have lifetime access to do whatever you want with those.
Love that.
From start to finish on initial intake form to getting the first round of assets takes us a total of 7 business days.
Okay.
And then what we're doing from there are you going to be the individual that's actually placing these ads in the ad account, or does someone else on the team do that?
So I oversee everything, but we have media buyers that would be
Okay.
controlling the ads.
So whether it's between myself and you in Slack, or it's another media buyer, or whatever the case may be, we're just going to need to have a pulse check on the data alongside you guys. If that's
Okay.
direct ad account access, get us into Hyros, get us into a Google Sheet where you guys are beautifully tracking everything. We've just got to know the numbers, because what we're doing is we're committing to getting you guys minimally a total of 3 rounds of assets before we decide where we're going from there. So if you guys were to move forward on the 20 pack every month, you'd be looking at a total of 60 ads delivered over the course of 3 months. And
Okay.
we're essentially just leveraging that data to drive us into batch 2 and batch 3. And then it's really just structured month by month thereafter.
Makes sense.
Any like questions on any of that, or all sound good? Make sense?
No, no, that makes sense. So basically, and obviously anything that's going to be new is going to require like a testing period. Like we don't expect like things to be like totally different from square one. So yeah, all of that makes sense. So I guess a question would be if we did, so you'd mentioned there's going to be 3 rounds of assets basically until we can get solid enough data to understand where to go from there. Were you meaning from a testing standpoint or from like an agreement standpoint? Or both?
Really both. It is an agreement, so contracted for 3 months to get a total of 20 ads delivered, 10 ads delivered, or 40 every month. And then um, we can definitely look at it like from a testing standpoint. Don't get me wrong. I mean, we have some crazy case studies where in month 1, like really hit it out of the ballpark
Mhm.
nicely, and then use that as kind of that new baseline for just getting you guys better and better metrics as we continue the relationship. But yeah, also not here to make any crazy big bold claims about month 1 success.
For sure.
So yeah, I want you guys to be open-minded to seeing it through, for at least that 3-month period. And it's definitely not, we're not interested in just getting you 10 ads and walking away. Like, the reason for like a contract here, and I'm not air quoting it for any rhyme or reason, but the reason for it is because we want you all to view us as that creative testing partner, and want us to both have some a little bit of a longer time horizon to the whole
Yeah,
thing here.
100%. I mean, if both of us are going to put in this much time in just the inception of the relationship, like there's no point in it just being a one and done. I agree.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sweet. What else?
Let me think. Yeah, one of the things, one of the questions that comes up, and we're actually about to have an L10 here in an hour. So all of this is going to be relayed, and I do obviously want to know like the follow-up process of like hopping on another call and making a decision.
Yeah.
But with what was suggested last time on our L10, where Paul actually brought you guys up, is it seems like you all, and for good reason, you all have an all-encompassing kind of approach to, wanting to make sure that you can hold the reins on the strategy and the testing and the scripting and things of that nature, and obviously run it through a checks and balances through us before it gets produced. Um, the idea when it came up though was just to test a female on the ad. So, and obviously it's okay if you don't, but do you? Do you all have another option to where it's like we already have all the scripting and everything laid out and we can just kind of like you can just shoot, or like what would that look like? And would there be any difference in investment in that regard?
So our preference is to get a handful of those scripts from you all in month 1 together, and
Hmm.
still have you all lean on us for some fresh stuff.
Got it.
Because
Okay.
at the end of the day, like, I'm not trying to come in and entirely reinvent the wheel. Keeping some controls is going to be necessary. Now, with all that being said, I don't want to feel like our team's like hands are tied in any sense to not be able to come in and also bring some pizzazz to what you guys are doing. You guys
Yeah.
are like, sometimes we find businesses are so stuck like in their own echo chamber, and it's like, wait, you're tag teaming us to step in. I don't want to just step in part of the way. Like, I'd love for you guys to still lean on us for all of our expertise. With all that
Yeah.
being said, if you guys said, hey, no, Emily, these are the 10 scripts we want you to rock with for month one, rock with them. Price does not change. We do not have a variance there. Still would encourage you to lean on us for editing sake as well, just to get like one, quick round of final edits completed on our team. And then still more power to you guys to do whatever you'd like with them from there on out. So yeah, does that answer your question?
Oh yeah, for sure. And it's kind of what I expected too, but it never hurts to ask. The other thing I would ask too is that because they are going to want to know this, do you have any examples of ads that you've shot for, people in the Christian space, or are you allowed to even share any example
Yeah.
assets from
Yeah.
other organizations? Okay. And then I would say just to be on the safe side, bringing this up into the meeting, maybe one from a Christian offer, maybe one from a real estate offer, if that's doable for you.
No worries. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that'd be great. Other than that, I mean, just kind of understanding what the investment looks like.
Yeah. So, investment perspective, if you guys were to get 40 videos made by our team every month, it would be 14,400.
Okay.
If you were to get 20 ads, it's 7,800 a month. And then our 10 pack of ads monthly is 4,800 each month.
Okay.
To get started, just paying for that first month up front, and then, month two would get billed 30 days from then.
Okay, so it would be a 3 month agreement, month to month. And then after the 3 months, would it be quarterly agreements, yearly agreements? Like, how does
No,
that?
it's just structured literally month by month there on out.
Okay, cool. And then you said basically from the first phase would be maybe month 1 through 3. Your intent would be so that we can fine tune like the demographic and what tends to respond best before we go into like VSL mode. We would just focus on ads and we
Exactly.
can do some testing. And at what point, typically on average, do you feel like, okay, we've done enough testing? Like, we've ran, is it like 40 ads? Is it 60 ads before you can really feel like I'm confident that this is what your audience responds to?
It's a little bit of a tough question. I see a bit of a range there, obviously, but I would say between month 2 and 3, we should start to have some pretty solid data in understanding, hey, we're seeing really good results with Becca on the team. And I think it would make a lot of sense for her to start to consider casting her for more of those longer form assets throughout the rest of the funnel. And, at some point it could make sense to begin to dive deeper into the video sales letter funnel build.
Okay, sweet. Yeah. What questions am I forgetting to ask?
Mm, I feel like we've pretty much hit everything. Process is fairly black and white, straightforward, but I mentioned Slack. Do you guys use Slack
Yep.
currently or no? Okay, great. So would get you into Slack. That's where that initial intake form would be sent. Script approval happens on your end before we dive into shooting anything. And then, yeah, that's pretty much it.
Cool. And then what would
Any
be,
other questions outside of the samples that you think the team might have?
that's a good question. I think that's honestly it. Yeah, some of the biggest concerns I expressed up front, and Paul did have some good things to say about you and your organization. So I think you definitely have some authority via referral there. I don't think so. So you'd mentioned 7 days to launch, so it's like we sign an agreement, send money, 7 days, we get our first rounds of ads to be able to start testing with.
Yep.
I don't think there's anything else. What other questions have you gotten from people in a marketing managing perspective to relay to the CEO? Any questions that you think come to mind?
I foresee your team potentially saying, "Oh, we just want to like genuinely test this out without a 15 to $30,000 investment right out the gate." And I think you and I are on the same page with that, in that I don't want to view this transactionally. We are more than just tag teaming our team for a female in an ad. So want to save you guys a lot of that time and not having to go through your community and go through hoops and hurdles of trying to get the handful of women to actually be representative and strong on camera for, your brand. So we're going to solve a big check mark there. But
Mm.
obviously there's some other nuances too, all the testing involved here. And yeah, I could see CEO and team maybe having some concerns, questions there, but I think we hit that. Um, we'll give you some really killer samples with direct results that they've provided for different businesses. So, you can actually have some numbers to correlate to some of the samples and stuff I'll share. I think that's really everything.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, honestly, if we can get evidence that it's going to impact the bottom line, it's investment. Like you put money in, you get money out. So, I mean, yeah.
Yep.
I don't think anybody on our team, we're all about facts over feelings. So,
Great. Yeah, no, I love important to lead with the data for sure. It's one thing to have a pretty ad, and then it's a whole other thing when the ad actually, you know, does super well.
yeah. Yeah, 100%. So
Cool.
how would I get back in touch? Email, text,
So what I can do from a sample perspective, well, I'll ask you, would you prefer for samples to be sent via text or would you like them to your email?
let's do email.
Email.
Yep.
And that's Chris at Kingdom 320,
You
correct?
got it.
All right, great. I have a call in 24 minutes, so give me 10, 15 minutes. I will get a good email over to you with a handful of samples and I can outline next steps, although if it's not necessary yet, you let me know. But really, next steps would be first month payment complete, agreement signed, get you into Slack. Once you're in Slack, onboarding form sent, and have you fill that out.
Cool. And then, oh, looks like our L10 was just moved. And then would you just want to communicate via email or would you want to like book another call from this call?
Do you want to do like a quick 15-minute check-in for when was your call rescheduled for?
It was for Thursday, so you want to do Friday?
Yeah, that works. How's same time for you on Friday?
Friday, same
10:30.
time. Yeah, that works.
All right, what I'm gonna do is I'm literally just gonna move this invite to Friday at 10:30.
That sounds good to me.
And if you have any questions that pop up in the meantime, feel free to hit me via text or just reply to the email and I'll get anything addressed and then we can take it from there.
Perfect. That sounds
Great.
good. Thank you, Emily.
Good
Appreciate
stuff.
the
Nice to
time.
meet you. I'll talk to you on Friday.
All right, see ya.
Bye.